we came on air. Full disclosure.
One thing is for sure, it will be interesting to see, given that this World Cup is really giving us a really nice thin margin of difference between the top contenders and everybody else. Well, you can't have a World Cup match, or a match actually, without controversial decisions, courtesy of our friend VAR, and obviously there were some. So we have to welcome in Dale Johnson. The GOAT is in the house. Dale Johnson. Dale, how are you? Was your inbox filtered with questions about certain calls, specifically that offside decision with Belgium, Croatia? How did you see this game? Okay, let me just ask you straight away. That offside with the arm, etc. What would you make of it? Was it the correct decision? Was it insanity? Talk to me.
Yeah, well, the bottom line is that the FIFA's new semi-automated offside does everything down to the ultimate millimetre. So if the technology says a player is in advance of the last defender, then it's going to give it offside. And that's what we're going to get used to with this technology. When we have it in the Premier League, there is a margin for error, a tolerance level, which means that this decision wouldn't have been given offside. It would have been considered too close to be an offside. It would automatically be onside. So this is what we've got with FIFA. It doesn't look good. I think that any fan looking at that image for offside will find it really difficult to work out which plays in front of which. But that's what it is. And in terms of the offside distance itself, what Lovren did challenge the defender, so there's no doubt there. But yeah, the technology says it's in advance, so the VAR's got no choice really.
Dale, I can't pass up this opportunity to make fun of the Premier League here a little bit about this, right? So can you just clarify this? I don't want to be mean. The reason the Premier League says, well, it's so close, so we can't really be sure, so we won't overturn it one way or the other. The Premier League, like most European leagues, they don't have this technology. They don't have this 3D technology. They have dudes drawing line on a map. They have one VAR and one assistant. It's two people, and they literally draw lines on the screen. Correct me if I'm wrong here. And that's why they have to say, if it's so close, we can't do it, right? Because I just think it's funny with goal line technology, right? We don't have a debate. Oh, look. Light goes on, light goes off. Oh, Hawkeye is God, is the all-seeing eye, right? Should we need to accept
that's exactly what this is exactly Kalina's the head of the rest of FIFA. That's exactly his point, is that with goal line technology, we accept it. We believe in the technology. But I think there's a difference really in terms of the ball being over the line or not, and a sort of romantic notion that if an attacker is level, then he should be allowed to have a form of benefit of the doubt. And because of that, I think people just view goal line technology and offside being in a totally different way, even though the simple fact of accuracy is no different between the two technologies.
Shaka, any questions for Dale?
No, I'll be honest. I am totally comfortable with the technology, how it's used. I don't quite get this. Well, he's not offside enough. What was that supposed to mean? You know, if he's offside by a millimeter and the technology allows and shows that, he's offside, and end of debate. I don't get all the swirling discussion around. Well, it's really close. The technology works. I trust in it.
People love to complain.
Yeah, sorry. While I have you, I wanted to ask about I was at the Argentina game last night, and I only sort of got to see one or two replays. But that penalty that Messi then missed, I was really surprised by that, because the referee obviously is Danny McAlee, who's considered to be one of the best in the world. He didn't give it in real time. What do you think the VAR saw that made him go to the screen and then made McAlee then change his mind? Because I was wondering, how is that a penalty?
Well, I agree completely. I don't think there's enough in for it to be a VAR penalty. Now, if the referee's given that on the field of play, I think it's a totally different factor. But yes, there is contact between the goalkeeper and Messi's face. So that exists. But that doesn't necessarily mean this has to be a penalty, and B, a VAR penalty, because there's a totally different threshold for the VAR to intervene in a clear and obvious error. Now, for me, that's not a penalty. I don't think the penalty that was given against Saudi Arabia was a penalty either, against Poland. And there have been some decisions in this World Cup. I was just looking at the stats actually before, and there's already been as many VAR interventions in this World Cup than there was in the entirety of the last World Cup, which was, of course, the first time we generally saw VAR, although it was in some leagues before that. So it just shows that there seems to be either a lower threshold or the referees are also almost second-guessing the protocol that the cleaner wants there to be. But it definitely feels as though the VARs aren't quite as certain in this tournament as they were in the last one.
So, Dale, let's move on here with chaos, rooting for chaos. All right. I know that you were a bit disappointed that Mexico-Poland didn't end up in a sort of chaotic situation there. Obviously, fair play was taking the main narrative through this game at some point, and then obviously it evolved into a different scenario once Saudi Arabia scored that later goal. But how much chaos do you want today? Because I'm reading here, per your facts, right? If Spain lose and Germany win, Japan win the group with 6 points. Spain and Germany both have 4 points. So it needs to be a 2-0 against Spain from Japan, and Costa Rica to lose 6-0 against Germany. The currently fair play points are Spain with 1 yellow card, Germany with 3. So is this what you want? Do you want some more chaos, Dale? Talk to me. Explain how realistic can this happen?
I was so disappointed we didn't get the full chaos of the positions last night, going through a random drawing of lots. That was what we really wanted. We just needed the Poland player that got booked. We just needed him to put another tackle in and get sent off.
Yeah.
Everything was level. But of course, as soon as he got booked, and it took a couple of minutes for the coaches to realise we've got to get him off. Someone had a whisper in the ear, obviously, and he was quickly substituted. So today it needs to be an 8-goal swing between Germany and Spain. So it's not really looks a bit unlikely. So it needs to be that 2-0 and 6-0. And we've got far more chances tomorrow night for it to go down to the drawing of lots. But tonight's probably one of the probably less likely.
Yeah. So obviously in the later show, we'll talk more about what's going to happen tomorrow in the route for chaos. But that's the scenario for Spain and Germany. Dale Johnson, thank you so much, my friend. Make sure to follow his content. He delivers some GOAT-level legendary threads on Twitter.
Thank you very much for watching ESPN FC on YouTube. For more highlights, analysis, and exclusive content, be sure to subscribe.